Well, good evening, good afternoon to all that are in attendance, everybody that is here. For those of you that were here on time, thank you so much for your patience. I see all your beautiful faces. I just want to be able to say Happy New Year's. Hopefully, you guys had a wonderful, wonderful New Year's and are excited about what this year has to offer. For those of you that don't know me, guys, my name is Ontario Smalls, originally from a small town on the outskirts of Charleston, South Carolina. So I'm an East Coast guy. I gotta check myself. I am an international executive in an amazing company called GS Partners. And guys, that is not lightly when I say that. I know sometimes it's cliche when people say that we have an amazing company. We literally have an amazing company that's doing some magnificent and magnanimous things in the world. And we are here right now and that we are part of it. And we're very excited about 2023. For those of you that don't know this platform, let me share with you this platform. There is no fluff. There is no hype on this platform. The platform was designed for a specific purpose, and the specific purpose initially was we have so many, our mission is so great and our product is so dynamic that sometimes it could go over people's heads. And so we created this platform so that we could make sure that at least one time on the week that everybody could bring their dumb questions to the platform so they could get answered. And when that took place, Jeff, I see you laughing. When that took place, we also recognize that all throughout the week, we've gone through a lot of turmoil and a lot of chaos and a lot of challenges as it relates to building business, and that we needed just a little bit of encouragement. And then ultimately, guys, life doesn't happen without empowerment. And so we finally decided that we're going to turn this Thursday, 6 p.m. into empowerment, encouragement, and Q&A session. And so with that being said, guys, for those of you that saw the title of what this week's and the first Q&A empowerment, encouragement and Q&A session for 2023 was, and the title may have shocked you and may have thrown you off a little bit. And you're probably saying, okay, what is he talking about? The whales and the sharks are hungry and they're in the mood. Now, for those of you that don't know, guys, I just came back from an amazing vacation. I took 9 days of traveling throughout the Caribbean, went to the Dominican Republic, went to St. Thomas, went to St. Lucia, Barbados, St. John's, Antigua. We were just kind of moving around. And for those of you that are used to cruising, I know Dorinza and Roland were on a previous cruise before mine's. You're meeting a lot of great people. You're doing some amazing tours and getting an opportunity to really digress and do some different things that you're not normally able to do. And in particular, we met up with a group of people who were on the very first tour with us when we were in Dominican Republic. And because of that kindredness and that bonding, we basically decided, hey, we're going to all do tours together. And one of the tours that we did, guys, was a whale tour. Now, the whales were magnificent. And upon coming back to the ship and hanging around, waiting for the next day's adventures, we were having conversations and we were regurgitating what we learned. And guys, for those of you that don't know me, I'm a nature fanatic. I love nature. I love learning. I love seeing humanity. I love learning from animals and all of their characteristics, etc. And we were going through telling our opinions on what we thought about the whales. And some of the people were saying, wow, they're huge, they're beasts, they're so graceful, they're so dynamic, and all of the great things that most people see about whales. Now, mind you, these are all men sitting around. Some of them are smoking cigars, some of them are having drinks at the pool. We're just engaging and having a really good time. And there was one particular, we're talking about two Brits, two Canadians, we're talking two Americans, and one Qatarian, a gentleman, multimillionaire that was from Qatar, who was a part of our group that went on this whale tour with us. And everybody gave their analysis on the whales. And there was one thing that this Qatarian said that threw us all off. You got that one person, that one family member that basically says something that's kind of somewhat out of line. It makes you laugh at the same time. It makes you think. You probably thought about it. You wanted to say it, but you didn't have the guts to say it. And out of the blue, guys, he says, we asked him, so what do you think about the whales? He said, what I learned about the whales is don't F with them when they are hungry and when they are in the mood. Now, guys, it just, everyone just stopped for a second because we couldn't believe what he said. But at the same time, it rang true to what he was saying. So that was one of the laughing stocks of our entire trip the whole time. His girlfriend couldn't believe that he actually said what he said. But I'm going to repeat what he said, and I'm going to bring it into business context of why we're here today talking about the whales and the sharks are hungry and they're in the mood. Guys, he said, never F with a whale that is hungry and that is in the mood. Now, we're involved in the business, and I came back. And when I came back, guys, something different happened. My phone started to ring off the hook. We had Pastor Clyde Oliver, who's one of our leaders. He came and called me, said, Ontario, we got, several Ghanaian people from the Ghanaian community. They're well-resourced people that are looking for an opportunity. I got a phone call from Suzanne that basically said, Ontario, we got a group of people that are really looking to move quite large sums of money into our organization, guys. And I kept getting call after call after call after call. And then finally, all of a sudden, it came to me about what we discussed as it relates to the whales, and that the whales and the sharks are hungry and in the mood. And what I'm sharing with you right now, guys, is that it's really a prophetic statement. Now, I'm not a pastor, I'm not a prophet, but it's a prophetic statement that if we take this prophetic enunciation seriously and engage it and make it our own, we're going to be able to use this as fire to really, really build our business this year, because 2023 is much different than 2022. It is the year when the whales and the sharks are hungry and they're in the mood. Now, let's put this into perspective. And Dorenz, I can see your face, and I know you're going to help me with this analogy. Are you the most pleasant person when you're hungry? You're laughing, all right? And no, I don't know anybody that is, Ed, you're looking and you're laughing or whatever. You remember that commercial when the guy was so hungry and I think it's the Snickers commercial. He turns into something when he's hungry, and it's not until he gets what? That Snicker bar that he calms himself down, all right? Because he's hungry. When whales are hungry, guys, they will travel from deep, cold waters to what? Fresh, hot, warm waters. Why? To eat, because they know that's where the fish is, all right? The next thing I want to discuss is, guys, that we learned while we were on this whale hunting tour is that whales not only travel long distances for the sake of just eating, right? But they also travel long distance for mating as well. And when I say that the whales and the sharks are in the mood, 2023 is presenting an opportunity where the whales are now traveling, looking for something that they need, that they want. They just don't have the same environment that they used to do it in. They can't do it in the environment that they're currently doing it in right now. The whales and the sharks are traveling. Now, as it relates to whales is concerned, why would you want to have a whale on your team? And the reason you would want to have a whale on your team is because whales are respected. If those of you that are taking notes, you can take some of these notes. Whales are respected. They're well connected. They're smart. They're strategic. And whales have reach. Now, I'm going to make this statement for Mr. Ty Best, because he's probably going to say, Ontario, why are you telling everybody to just go after whales? That's not my intent. My intent is not for us to just go after whales. We should be sharing this entire ecosystem with everybody, 98.6 and breathing, whether someone is spending $500, $2,000, $10,000, $5,000, whatever they're spending. But the reality is that if you can attract whales on your team and sharks on your team, you're going to bring respect, connectedness, smartness, strategicness, and you're going to get a lot more reach, meaning you're going to be able to attract a lot more people at a faster pace than what you're doing currently right now. And the reason why this moment is so special is because the sharks and the whales, they are hungry, meaning that they need what we have. We just got to put them in position to get it. And then the next thing I want to share with you guys is, as it relates to whales is concerned, you know, most people say, well, how do you attract the whale? You got to have the proper what? Environment. Whales move from cold, deep waters to warm waters just so that they could get to the place where mating can take place or where there's a large sum of food. And so what I want to do right now, guys, I want to put it into perspective, and then we're going to come back. And what I'm going to do is, there are a couple whales that are in this group here right now. What I want to do is give them the opportunity to share why they as whales are in doing what they're doing and how they were positioned to take advantage of what we have right now. So what I want to do right now is share my screen. I want to put this in perspective and I want to share with you about the whales. Now, I want to be mindful and make the disclaimer that this may be a little graphic for those of you that are animal lovers, etc. If you could just maybe pause, turn your head for a second. But for those of you that can take this, we want to show you the whales that are hungry and hunting. Just for pictorial to seal the deal, to help you understand how powerful we are as a prophetic place in a season to really grow our businesses and take it to the next level. So Victoria, just let me know while we enjoy this quick 3-minute video. Let me know, just give me a text saying we can hear and see.
The predator of all predators arrives. Orcas. As smart and cooperative as a common dolphin, and 3 times bigger. Orcas never used to travel for the sardine run, but now they swim thousands of miles to intercept the shoals. But it's not the sardines they're after. They're here to hunt dolphins. Not chasing anymore, but running. The orcas are not only more powerful, they have more stamina. Just as the dolphins corralled the fish, now the orcas work the dolphins. They isolate one from the pod. Once they've locked onto their target, they tag team, chasing it, exhausting it, then ramming it. They attack again and again, until the dolphin can no longer swim.
So guys, I'm back, and hopefully you guys can hear me. Vic, if you could just let me know that you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Awesome. And so with that being said, guys, We're in a very, very important season. The sharks are hungry and they're hunting. They're in the mood. You know, another thing that I noticed, Vic, if you guys can help me with that, whatever line that is that it's very, very prime. And I want to make some notes about what I heard in that quick video. It said that they are traveling what further. And in essence, what I mean that the dolphins are traveling further, I mean the whales are traveling further, is where their food was and where they were comfortable mating before. It's not conducive to produce the same results any longer. Now, what do I mean? Investors are no longer getting the yields that they used to get from the stock market. They're no longer getting the yields of where they used to get from where they were comfortable at. And so guess what they're doing? They're looking for warmer temperatures of water. They're looking for compliant, for safety. They're looking for all of those things, all right? Which is why I'm saying that the whales and the sharks are hungry and they're in the mood. The second thing that I notice is that they weren't there for the sardine. The sardines were plentiful. They weren't looking for the sardines. They weren't looking for the little 1-2% profit. They were looking for the ability to grow their money in a much larger, in a much safer fashion with technology where the entire world is going. And everybody that's on this call, guys, are starting to understand that where the warm waters are, it's three industries. It's blockchain, it's Web 3.0 platform, and it's what? Metaverse. And the company that we're affiliated with, GS Partners, guys, is leading the way in all three of those major marketplaces. And we all have the ability to connect ourselves with it, to put ourselves in position for wealth transfer and to help as many people as possible. And so the whales are hungry and they're in the mood. Now, from a mating perspective, when you think about whales, Dr. Bonner, I can see your face. Whales are pretty interesting. And the reason they're interesting, they're just like us as Bravo men, you know? They are show-offs, right? They charge at their mate as if they're going to attack, but never attack. And not only do they do that, Dr. Bonner, but they also will make big jumps and big splashes, making a lot of noise, right? And beyond that, they start to make a lot of noises as if they're singing a song, trying to serenade their mate, trying to put themselves in a position to separate themselves from everybody else. And so literally, guys, the whales are there. We all want them on our team, but we got to do the things to attract the whales. And so what I want to do right now is I invited several. And what I'm going to do right now is give a few of them an opportunity to share some of their experiences. And the very first one that I want to bring out is a gentleman. His name is Maxfield Boeing. Maxfield, if you can unmute yourself, hopefully you're at a place where you could speak. But guys, let me share a little bit about Maxfield. I knew Maxfield not at all a few years ago. And Maxfield saw me in one of my first Dubai trips on a yacht cruise that I established for my daughter. And we began to see and kind of figure out what I was doing. And Maxfield came aboard, got an account with GS Partners. He's in the real estate business. Maxfield, let me tell you what whales do. Whales just don't take what Ontario says about the business. Whales travel to Dubai and see for themselves. And Maxfield, as you can see in the picture there, he got an opportunity to travel to Dubai to actually physically see what was happening, met with Bruce Hughes, and literally the rest is history because he's put himself in position with a lot of certificates. Maxfield, I want you to tell people who you are. I want you to share why you went to Dubai, what you saw when you were in Dubai, and then what you've done since Dubai, and share with us your strategy in the standpoint of you being in the real estate market, knowing that the real estate market is going to be coming to a halt potentially, what has happened in the past with that, and how it's going to be different for you going forward in the future with these certificates. Welcome to the line, Maxfield Boeing.
Hey, thank you, Ontario. I'll do my best to share as much as I can. But like Ontario said, I guess Ontario and I actually have never physically met. We've been Facebook friends for about 2 or 3 years. And one day I saw him post something on the internet, and I said, okay, I've been wanting to meet this guy. So he posted something about 4.15% on Facebook. So I finally reached out to him, and we had a conversation, and I got involved, and it's been kind of, history from there. As well as I got started with my first certificate back in August, and I had a trip already planned to Dubai in September. So the trip initially started out in South Africa, and spent about 6 days there in South Africa. And if you've never been to South Africa is one of the best and wonderful places in the world that you should visit. Cape Town as well as Johannesburg is where I was at. And then we left Cape Town and Johannesburg, but on my way, I knew I was going to to Dubai. So I got in contact with Ontario, and I knew we had a headquarters or some facilities in Dubai, and asked Ontario if he could connect me with the people in Dubai, so I can at least go by to meet them, to see that this was a real company, real people and everything. And as you can see, my picture in the background, that's where I took a picture there in front of the Lydian World map that they have at the Education Center, and a couple other pictures in front of the in front of the building as well. So since getting in the business, I kind of feel like even though I'm moving, I'm still moving slow, and I'm not moving fast enough. But I've been just kind of just paying attention to whatever Ontario do, I do. And then just been listening to presentations, learning how to give the presentation. I give the presentation to a lot of people. So I've been able to grow, just a few people into my, bring other partners into the business as well. And over the course of the few months that I've been in, seems like every time I get on a corporate call, because I try to get on all the corporate calls real time, I get encouraged to purchase more certificates and more certificates. And like the chairman of the board, Joseph, said on the last call, is that we should accumulate, we should accumulate, we should accumulate. So I still just been accumulating. So what I plan to do, and I have rental property, and I'm going to take equity from my rental property, which I have currently in process of, to use that equity to fund my account. To load all of my certificates. So keep my fingers crossed all of that goes through. But it's interesting, Ontario says that we should target whales. And he finally gave me a name for, I picked up a name for the strategy that I was planning to implement, that I had been thinking about for the past day. So now I have a name for it. Because I was planning to just, go out to people that were more high net worth individuals. Because if you take a look at what I'm doing with my own personal self, it only just takes one HERA to really to get. And with that HERA, because of that HERA pays up $1,037.50 a week, by the time you cash out, that's going to be about $4,000 a month. With that $4,000 a month, that will allow me to pay off the loan. Plus, it could allow me to do some other things, make repairs to my rental properties. So my thought is just, if I go out to high net worth individuals, a lot of us have equity into our home and our rental property. I wouldn't do this on my personal property, but on our rental property, just pull out equity from that rental property and show them, hey, you get the $60,000 HERA, and you use that money to, hey, maybe you want to, and kind of got some of this in conversation with Ontario too, because I kind of ask them a lot of questions, that if we go after people that have equity into their home, are these builders who are, because I'm in real estate, who are no longer able to, they are no longer able to build as many properties as they have. If we go after those people who have equity in the home, the builders, and we all got them in our cities, and show them the plan and put a plan and strategy together that that we can show them how they can pull this equity out and do some investing in their own property that maybe we may be able to bring on more wells. And the other thing that I look at, it takes just as much energy as to go out to somebody for a $60, $150, or $300,000 certificate as it does for somebody to go for 50, or 500, or 2,000, 5,000, or whichever. So if I'm going to spend my energy, because I'm going to try to think a little bit smarter now, I'm going to spend my energy on the 60,000 and up, and I will get some. I'm not going to turn away the 500 because I got the 500, I got the 2,000 in my group, but I will get those as well. So that's kind of where I'm at, Ontario. I hope I didn't take too much.
No, you did a great job, guys. And I wanted to bring Maxfield out is because he represents the real estate industry, does really well in real estate. But one of the things that he understands from a historical standpoint, his industry has a lot of downturns and not a lot of money's made in the downturns. So guess what he's doing with the cash that he's making now? He's employing and redeploying that cash into Metaverse certificates and stacking a lot of them. And not just small certificates, guys. I think I've earned maybe 1, 2, or 3 hairs from you. Every time I look, I was like, okay, thanks for the certificate. So I want to thank you for sharing your story. Guys, this is a whale. Give Maxfield a round of applause for sharing his story here. And what I want to do right now is I want Dr. Brian Bonner, who's also another whale, to unmute himself. Dr. Bonner, I'm putting you on the spot. If you can, unmute yourself. What you're going to share is probably going to be able to be a blessing to a lot of people. Guys, this is a doctor, all right? Dr. Bonner, share with us, because you're a whale, how were you attracted to this? What you've been able to accomplish with certificates, and anything else you want to share. You're muted. Unmute yourself. Hold on 1 second, guys. We just lost him. He'll come back. While we're waiting on Dr. Bonner, guys, Suzanne Kwong. Suzanne, are you there? Hopefully you're there. I don't see you.
I'm here, but I'm in a place that I cannot talk until 5 minutes later.
Okay, great. We'll bring you on in about 5 minutes. I think Dr. Bonner is probably going to come back. While we're waiting for Suzanne, guys, is Vanessa Cunningham on? Is Vanessa Cunningham on?
Hi all. Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Awesome, guys. Let me preface who this amazing couple is. They are they're elders in our church, in my church that I attend. And before my beloved pastor died, who trained me on wealth management, who encouraged me in the relations to being a king in God's house, told me before he died that I needed to stay close to this couple. Mr. Hernie Cunningham has made millions of dollars in real estate, rightfully himself. I'll let his wife share a little bit of his testimony in regards to who he is and what he's done. But the thing that I want to highlight about them is they're whales. They're people who were of millionaire status already, but someone had the confidence to reach out to them. And as it relates to reaching out to them, even though they had the ability to make money in real estate and other things, they saw the value here. Now, let me tip the hat for them a little bit. They have spent very little money out of their pocket in just about every certificate that they have earned, they've earned the certificate for free, and that they've filled all of the certificates with what? Income from the business and very little money from their pocket. So Sister Vanessa, I don't know if you or Elder Cunningham wants to speak, but the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, and good evening to everybody. I apologize, I jumped on a little late, but I had another engagement. But I did, Mr. Bowman, hear what you had to say, and I just am blown away by your strategy. I applaud you for it. But I am here to say, in Ontario, I do appreciate all those accolades that you gave us.
And I forgot to mention that she's a medical doctor. So not only is he a millionaire as it relates to real estate, but his wife is a medical doctor as well. So I didn't want to slight you, my cousin, Vanessa.
Yes, I consider him my cousin since we're from the same neck of the woods. But I'm a sort of a retired medical doctor. I've been in the practice for quite a long time. My husband has been, for the most times, most of his life, self-employed, and he made his money, as you know, those who are in real estate. And there was a time that real estate was really a booming industry. That space, and still is to a degree, but that space is cyclical, just like everything else that we invest in. And you just have to have that spirit of investment. Now, I'm not talking from a position of a whale, because my profession, I'm a pediatrician, so I always think about the little guys. So I think about those people like Mr. Haidt does, those people who need the extra boost. People like my husband, who is able to go out and buy and purchase real estate, etc. I wanted to see, and just like Mr. Bowman, everything that Ontario presented to me, I jumped into, but not necessarily at the same rate that he did. We went into this, my husband and I, because we wanted to find some means of a residual income that was not totally reliant upon what the system in fiat currency afforded us, because we had been that route. And when this opportunity presented itself, we said, I think we can see the vision that Mr. Haidt so well laid out. And we saw how he was building line upon line, if I may, precept upon precept. And that he knew he is the one with the vision. And I said, I'm going to tap into that. I'm going to hold on to his coattail, even if it's in small increments. Because mind you, this is not something that you take all of your investments. You still keep, irons in a lot of fires. But this may be something that you focus on primarily, because even though we participated in a lot of the other projects and programs and services that our community offered, this one was the one, as I said before in another call, that made my husband's baby leap, because he could see that this particular opportunity actually paralleled something that the everyday Joe Blow could see, okay? People who build, who have invested and built and have had the downfalls and were able to pull themselves up, those people are self-motivated, and they could do, and they can strategize, and they can have a vision. But we also, bear in mind, have a community of people that may not have that. And really, they actually lean on heavily their leadership to lead them, because they don't have that type of visionary. Not everybody's a visionary. And so this particular service, this particular instrument, this CD parallels CD in the in the financial world. People can grasp that concept. But what really draws them in, that I have seen, is that now they look at their portfolios, their 401ks, their savings account, and when they're told that per annum, we're going to offer you 0.1% of the monies that we have been holding of yours for a year, they look at what we can offer with the CD, and that actually draws them in. We tend to network with the people on our level, okay? Just like Mr. Haidt networks with multi-millionaires and billionaires. So therefore, I wanted something, and my husband wanted something that anybody we present with, in our congregation, in our families, that they can connect with. And this particular service, this particular product, I should say, does that. It does that for anybody who can actually count, who can actually see. Now, the way that we got our certificates, and as Ontario mentioned, we didn't go into this to build a business. We just went into this as an arena for investment, and we just like to tell people, here's an opportunity where you can now maybe, as Mr. Bowman pointed out, you can take this and you can build, you can actually have an inheritance for your children and your children's children. This is like that little Christmas savings account back in the day, but it's given you much, much, much more. And so we ended up getting people underneath us, and we would end up getting these certificates. And every time I open my back office, I'm seeing more certificates, and we're filling them with that income that's coming from those who joined in with us. And these are not necessarily whales. These are just the everyday person who wants to buy into the future to be able to pay it forward for their children and their children's children.
Wow. And guys, I want to make this mindful, you all mindful, that man that you see there is 83, 84 years young and running circles around all of us. So Sister Vanessa, thank you for sharing his story as well as your story. It's encouraging to all of us, and I'm sure that the others, just let them know in the chat, guys, that you've enjoyed Maxfield as well as Sister Vanessa and her husband as well. Now, what I want to do right now, guys, I want to bring is Tina. Tina, are you available? Show us yourself and make yourself known. Tina.
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you guys. It looks like Tina, we caught her going to the gym. Shoot. But some of you have heard Tina before. Tina, can you hear me? Tina, can you hear me?
Oh, it's acting crazy now.
Tina, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clear. Can you hear me?
I can. Okay, now I can hear you. I don't know what happened. My phone did some craziness.
Okay, well, listen, we're going to let you tell your story very quickly. Guys, Tina, let me preface this for her to make it a little easy for her. She is a single mom, hard worker. She's a landlord. And literally, Tina saw the vision of what we were doing and began to put her toe in it, buying small certificates here and there. And finally, one day she realized that with these certificates, she had the ability to do some very special things. Tina, if you can share with us the encounter that you and I had a few weeks ago and what you discovered as it relates to the power of these certificates.
Yes. So, I can be a little skeptical about things just because, my money, like Ontario said, it's very tight for me. I hold it very dear. And, whenever you're, using money to put into something, you want to make sure that everything is good. And so for me, it was just really trying to understand the process of the certificates. And like the first gentleman, I wish I had flown to Dubai. That would have been nice, Ontario, just to see how this all works and that it was real. But in any event, I do know from just, to make money, you have to spend money in some instances and you have to take risks. And that's what I decided to do because I felt like I was in the right place. And what happened is we had a huge snowstorm. I live in Minnesota. I call it Minnesota in case anybody is familiar.
And guys, again, while Tina is doing that, guess what? I've never met Tina personally. So
no,
keep going, Tina.
Yeah, we've never met in face-to-face. But during the snowstorm, I just kept thinking to myself, oh my goodness, this property ownership can be very taxing. And I remember talking to Ontario, and I was actually making a withdrawal from one of my certificates. And I remember saying to him, like, wow, I'm sitting in my house robe with a cup of coffee right now, withdrawing money just from a certificate that I invested into. And, at the end of the month from my withdrawal, it was literally yielding me more money that I'm currently getting from my rental property. And that's when it dawned on me that not only was I in the right place, but this is going to build generational wealth for my family. And from there, my whole mindset has changed. And I no longer think of traditional investing, like buying properties, because it's hard for, you know, a single person for starters. And, you know, there's lots of ebbs and flows with market and prices of materials and all sorts of things that come with it. And rent and tenants can be a nuisance as well. So with all that being said, my focus has completely been redirected, and every ounce of money I get, I'm trying to stick it into the certificates. They are a winner, and it has definitely increased my income tenfold just from the certificates that I've purchased so far, and I plan to get more.
And guys, guess what? She's still working her job and still earning from the certificates at the same time, still earning from her properties. And guess what? Still has other monies in the market as well. So she hasn't lost anything, but she's winning on this side. Guys, what I want to do right now, thank you so much, Tina. Guys, give Tina some rounds of applause. She's on her way to the gym. We called her before she went in. So thank you so much, Tina, for sharing that testimony. What I want to do right now, guys, I want to bring back Dr. Brian Bonner. Dr. Bonner, you there?
Yeah, I'm here, man. Sorry about that earlier. I forgot to plug my laptop in. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Outstanding. Wow, this has been a great Zoom call. Lots of great information. I think what my main focus for anything I do now at the later stage of my life, or I should say my middle-aged years, is leaving a legacy. And so, you know, when I first saw this, of course, I was crossing my fingers that it would be what it was supposed to be. Little did I know it was going to be this good. I've taken advantage of every promotion that the company has multiple times. I don't even know how many certificates I have. My wife doesn't know either, but that's okay. She gets to reap the rewards. We're in a really unique situation, folks, where we get a chance to grow our money with experienced folks, with folks who have billions of dollars, have been in all different types of businesses, all different types of business connections. And so we've got a unique opportunity to kind of ride their coattails. I'm fortunate that I've been able to take advantage of it. I brought my brother in, I brought close friends in, close associates in, and I'm sharing. I'm sharing because I believe. I think if your belief system is up, you'll share more. Early on in the game, I didn't share as much. Now I'm sharing with everybody. Anybody and everybody who will listen to me run my mouth. If I got 2 or 3 minutes, I will definitely share. I think that's how you get whales. You get whales by sharing. But other than that, I'm very excited about where we're going as a community. I'm very excited about where we're going as a project. And it's great to be here, guys. And again, I think we're all truly in a very unique situation and a wonderful opportunity we all have. Awesome, and awesome. To the young lady who's up in Minnesota, I graduated from the University of Minnesota. I've got a brother and sister who live in, my sister's in Minneapolis. I went to high school in Minneapolis, by the way. And my brother lives in Minnetonka. And I saw you guys got 12, 13, 14, 15 inches of snow a couple days ago.
Yes, and it's still coming.
Yeah,
it's just flowing like the water fountains of snow. It's beautiful.
Yeah, and I don't miss it here in Atlanta at all. That's for sure. Stay warm.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Bonner. Thank you so much for adding, guys. Give Dr. Bonner a round of applause, plus signs, whatever, claps. Amazing. He's going to be in Seychelles with us, doing some amazing things. He is a whale and is attracting whales. All right, guys, hopefully Suzanne, are you able to speak now? Suzanne, are you able to speak?
Yes, I just get onto the freeway. Yes, I'm here, Ontario. Thank you for getting me on here off guard.
Yeah, Suzanne, listen, you're the reason why you are one of the reasons why that thought came to me, reminded me about the whales and the sharks are hungry and they're in the mood. They're in mating mood. They're ready to go. And so when you called me up and says, Ontario, we got this guy that wants to do this and wants to move millions of dollars, etc., I said to myself, this is the season where the climate is right for this type of people. And you deal with this type of people every single day. Share from your heart the kind of people that you are being exposed to, why they are so attracted to this, and why they're moving so much money. And also give them a little tidbit on the sense of some key things that they can do to attract these type of people. So take it away.
Yes. All right, Ontario, it has been a very good presentation. It's been raining a lot in California. We have a big storm in the North Bay, but I call it a rain of blessings. This is a year that we will receive a lot of wonderful wealth, and I'm very excited about the year. So I am a financial advisor for 20 years. I have been moving millions of dollars, but when I heard about GS Partner, I just didn't think that it is true, because we have a lot of restriction as a financial advisor. We cannot tell people more than 12%, let alone 4% a week. So, but I have been working very, very closely with all my team. Everyone is very excited. I work hard, and I call almost every of my clients, and we move lots of money from my clients in 401k, IRA, money market, so you name it. And they're very excited with me. And right now, my team is growing, especially in Texas. I have some of our teammates on it. And I'm very excited about last year that I become a continental executive. And it's not my own effort, but it's everyone team effort. I said team is together, everyone achieve more. So I really like all of us go out there and share this wonderful opportunity with people. Our chairman is so generous. I've been in the industry for 20 years. There's no such thing that bonus like that. Imagine one of my clients put in $150,000 to Poseidon. He got $300,000 on his 6%. So every month he can earn 6% on $400,000. That is amazing that I never seen it before. So you guys, I encourage everyone to go out there. This is a great, great year. Let's put our effort together, help people with $2,000, with $500 to millions of dollars. If we put our passion, our heart in there, we can help lots and lots of people. So
awesome.
That's all I have.
Thank you so much, Suzanne. Guys, give Suzanne a round of applause, plus signs. She's one of my strongest legs, guys. And I'll tell you a little, this is a running joke that Suzanne and I have. And when you get whales on your team and you attract whales on your team in 2023, you're going to be happy for your whales, but you're going to be a little bit upset and angry with them. Why? Because Suzanne normally has me capped out until Continental as it relates to rank, because she's bringing so much money in all at one time that when it comes to getting rank, she can't help me get to the next rank because she's capped me out all the way to crown. So that's, for those of you that are rankers, you'll understand exactly, but you want to have these whales on your team. Guys, while we wait, I think there's one more person that I want to bring on. I don't know if Dr. Bess or Randy Love has anything to say, but while they were talking, I thought it was very applicable for you to understand what are some things that you can do to attract whales. And these are just a couple C's that I wrote that you should pay close attention to and begin to practice these things in your own personal lives. It is be confident, all right? Be clear. So in other words, in order to be confident and clear, you got to understand your ecosystem. You got to know it. You got to plug in and really know the ins and outs of how it works. But guess what? Whales will test you. They will ask the hard questions. And if you're stumbling over it, you're going to lose them very, very fast, right? So be confident, be clear, and be concise. A whale doesn't have 30 minutes to sit through a presentation. Matter of fact, all of our whales, Suzanne and I, have designed a system where she brings the whales to a very private setting with just me, her, and the whale. We share with them very briefly, concise, how this works. And we give them the ability to ask their questions, and then we're done. Whales make decisions very, very fast, right? And so all we got to do is be able to give them the facts. And then also, they're looking for your consistency. They're looking for your consistency. Suzanne and I have a whale that has probably 2, 3 hairs, maybe even more than that, that they were using to test. They're in the process right now of potentially doing what, a Poseidon or Zeus. Suzanne, where are we? I think it's the Zeus that our clients are in the position to move money.
Yes.
Zeus.
Yeah,
okay,
yes.
Great. Awesome. So confident, clear, concise, and consistent. They're waiting to see if you're going to tell them about another program next week and another program the next week. So, guys, we're coming to a close, but as we come to the close, the whole topic of this was the whales and the sharks are hungry and they're in the mood. They're ready to mate, guys. They just need a partner. And hopefully you're going to be the one that's going to feed them, and you're going to be the one that's in position to put them in the environment so that they can mate to produce the kind of results that they're trying to produce. And what are they trying to do? They're trying to grow their wealth. They're trying to leave an inheritance for their children's children. And the current mechanisms that are in place are not fulfilling their needs as it used to, and they're traveling to warmer waters, and definitely GS Partners is warmer waters at this particular time. So what I want to do, I don't know if Dr. Best is on, want to give him an opportunity to share his thoughts. If he is, want to be respectful. I don't know if he is, but if he's not, his proxy, if his proxy is here, and that is none other than my big brother, Eric Toure Muhammad. Brother Muhammad, are you there, sir? Eric Toure Muhammad, are you there?
I am ready for revolution. How you doing?
The whales are and sharks are hungry, and
Man,
brother, they're in the mood to mate. What you got to say about that? I know you got something on it.
Look, I'm on the line in a few minutes with the head of one of the actually the largest blockchain platform in North America. And so I'll be talking with him in a few minutes and just waiting for him to pop on. But we're in the hunt, and it's that kind of season. And it was only inspired by 2 things. It was inspired mainly by what I heard last night in the Freedom Call out of Dr. Best and Mr. Dalco. And Brother Ontario, when you came on and explained this whole season and talked about the whales, man, I am just wide open. So I'm going to jump off to say an amazing call, amazing presentation. I got a chance to see the video. I wasn't even queasy. I was proud of myself. But family, go for it. It's second to none. What we have, no one else has. No one has the ability to bring it the way that we can. So let's stay engaged, stay excited over this thing, and make it happen. And believe me, you'll look back on today and your accomplishments like it was child's play. Amazing presentation. Thank you, brother.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I was advised by some of the moderators that Mr. Michael L. Dalco is on the line. Mr. Dalco, you there, sir?
Hey, Mr. Smalls, thanks for the recognition. Just honestly, I jumped on because this is your area of expertise. I really came on to be inspired and learn. So, brother, I'm sitting in the student's chair tonight. Great to have you on. Great to have you as a part of what we're doing globally. Thank you, brother, for your talent.
Awesome. Mr. Dalco, you're breaking up a little bit. Yeah, guys, he's probably, as you know, Mr. Dalco, he's probably moving around, making it, shaking it, making it happen. But when it comes to whales, guys, he's definitely one of the largest producing legs in our wealth builders community.
Hey, Mr. Small, you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, I jumped on my Wi-Fi there. I am running back and forth mobile, but when I saw the call pop up that you were doing the presentation, I literally jumped on because you're the expert in this area. I bow down when it comes to high net worth individuals. You have the right understanding of that marketplace, and I literally came on to learn from you. I'm sitting in the student's chair tonight, brother. So teach on. Thank you for your time, your talent, your treasure. Thank you for bringing your talent to this community. You've done a lot to help a lot of people, more than you know. I hear it all the time. Ontario Smalls. I say, I know that, brother. I remember when we used to hang out. He's kind of elevated now. I don't get to hang out with my brother much. This is your area of expertise, man. I'm just thankful that you're a part of our community. Back to you.
Awesome. Listen, guys, I want to give honor where honors due. Listen, what we have here right now that all of us are raving about would not be possible if Mr. Michael Dalco had not positioned himself with our chairman of the board, and not only position himself at the right time, at the right place, but to have enough guts and the confidence to know that even though Mr. Height was a whale, he's a shark. He understood the season and the timing and convinced our chairman and brought a group of other leaders from our former company together to position us. And all of us are indebted to that man and his family, Mr. Michael Dalco and Monisha Dalco. So let's give him a round of applause. Mike, you're going to have in my home, there's going to be Jesus' picture, my picture, and Mike Dalco's picture. All right. Now, what we want to do at this moment, guys, I want to respect my leader, Randy Love. I don't know if Mr. Ty Best have made it to the call or not. We also have legends like Miss Cece Mahone, Miss Sharon Vicks. Ladies, Miss Cece, I don't know if you're able to unmute yourself. Love to hear your perspective. And then also Miss Sharon Vicks as well. What are your thoughts on the whales and sharks are hungry and they're in the mood? Miss Cece, are you able to speak? She's probably busy at the moment. What about Miss Vicks?
Good evening, Ontario. What an amazing call. Thank you for inviting me to the call. And as far as the whales and the sharks, I'm going after some of the whales now as we speak. But of course, whales want a little more information. Mm-hmm. So I'm directing them where they need to go to get the right information. Because one thing I've learned, say less.
Say less.
Let the process work for you.
Yep.
And that's what I'm doing. I'm allowing the process to work for me. And when I need to pull in my 3 ways for my whales, I have individuals like you and Mr. Michael Delco. So I am positioning myself to deal with the whales.
Absolutely.
And because of your presentation today, you've given me more insight on what it is I need to do, how to do it, and when to let someone else pick up that travel and carry it for me.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much. Thank you for allowing me to speak. And thank you to all you guys who spoke today. You have been an inspiration, and I greatly appreciate it. Everyone
awesome.
Have a great night.
Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. And she said the key. And Mr. Michael Dalco says this all the time. Guys, when you bring a whale, you need to say less and let the experts help you. I'll give you an example. Suzanne Kwong is highly more decorated in the financial arena than I am. I'm not a financial advisor, not a financial planner. I'm not none of those things. But I am the resident expert who's paid the price as an international executive in this company, headed to Crown. And Suzanne submits to my authority. And guess what? Lets me feel out the whale, figure out what I need to ask, what I need to answer. We get the deals done. Now, she'll say this to you. Because of her expertise, she tried to close all of her whales by herself with 0 success rate. Suzanne, I don't know if you're still there. Can you tell them what the success rate is now that we have begun to partner with your expertise and my expertise? 3 is better than 1. Triple braid cord is not easily broken. Give us the success of what we're having by doing it that way. I don't know if you can unmute yourself. She's probably driving on the freeway. I keep putting her on the spot. But guys, she has probably a 90% success rate with closing whales, and she never moves and talks to a whale without me or someone else being with her as well. So with that being said, I think I've gotten all the whales. I don't know if Pastor Clyde, Clyde
Mr.
Oliver.
Small, I'm
Yes.
busy feeding my mom,
Yep.
but giving my mom food, but Dr. Best is on. He's jumping on real quick.
Awesome.
He was
awesome.
taking care of something, so I didn't want you to go without saying hello to him.
Awesome.
And,
Yeah.
you know, it was a phenomenal whale shark call. This was phenomenal.
Awesome. Whenever Mr. Best is on, sir, you know, you can unmute yourself and definitely share with us. The title here today, Mr. Best, was about whales and sharks, that they're hungry.
I enlightened him.
They're in the mood. This is the season for mating. This is the season for eating. They're traveling. They're hungry. They're looking. We just got to be prepared to share with them what we have, give them the facts, guys, and they're going to move. And they're not going to move with very small money. They're moving large sums of money. They're asking the right questions. And so we're very excited about this. So whenever Mr. Best comes on, he could definitely chime in at any time.
Hey, I just want to say hello. I just popped in real quick. Believe it or not, this is one of those rare nights, so I'm actually taking the night off and I'm running to the movies with my dudes. Okay, they said, Dad, come go to movies. I said, man, I got to work. They said, Dad, you always got to work. You ain't really got to work. You just want to work.
Wow.
Which is true. So, and then Randall said, man, you got to hop on the call real quick. So I just want to hop on the call, guys, say hello. And Mr. Small, 1% correct, man. Every morning I'm waking up, I got $10,000-$20,000. Somebody wired to me about I need this, I need that. And then yesterday you heard, I showed for those on the call where somebody overnighted me a doggone cashier's check for $161,000. One cashier's check. And I said to myself, hey, El Terry, I didn't even want to take it to the bank. I was like, I said, you guys got to still remember, I'm a little guy from Rocky Mount, North Carolina. You just don't be walking to the bank with, a cashier's check for, almost 200 grand. That's uncomfortable. That's uncomfortable for the cashier. Okay, I'm trying to up my comfort level, hanging out with Joseph Height and people like Ontario Smalls, Mr. Delco. They big money people. I'm still trying to adjust a little bit. So I had to up my comfort zone this morning, walking there like that's normal. It was 2 minutes later, man. See the positive thing went on about her business. She didn't pay me on mine. Okay, but Ontario Smalls right on the money. All we got to do is go talk to folks. Folks are looking for us, man. I just got off the phone with Mr. Matthew Tips. I need 15 grand right now. I'm telling you, folks, right now, they jumping in the boat. Okay. They said, when cast your net and cast a wide net. Okay. And don't act surprised when your net comes back full of fish.
Wow.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
Wow. That's a mouthful. There's one more person, guys, it would be robbery. He just texted me saying that he's at a restaurant with his wife and another couple. His name is Clyde Oliver. And if he's not able to unmute himself in the next 5 to 10 seconds, I'm going to tell his story for him. I'm going to speak for him if he's not able to unmute himself. But we'll give it about a quick few seconds. There he is.
I got a minute.
Awesome. Take your minute, sir. Take it away.
Oh, man. Wow. What can I say? This is awesome. Great opportunity to make a difference in the lives of so many. Appreciate Dr. Bessie's. Every time I hear him, he's always keep you stirred up and encouraged to go up higher. Don't stay where you are, and don't be average and ordinary. So certainly appreciate that. Ontario, you do a great job of coaching, and you help me along so much. I can't tell you how much I appreciate all that you've done since I've come into this space. And you just have been there to make a difference, and I certainly appreciate it. Appreciate all the people that, as Dr. Best said, they're jumping in the boat. And it's a beautiful thing. I'm going wide myself, And then we've gone deep as well. And I mean, just a little while, we got almost 400 people that's attached to our organization. And man, it's amazing. I've been on the phone all day long. I have to make myself go to bed. My wife said, "When you coming to bed?" So, because so many things are happening, people around the world, and we're doing stuff international now as well. Just on a Zoom with people in Ghana, South Africa, Botswana, and here in the States, all at the same time. And so, it's just this is just awesome opportunity to make a difference again in the lives of so many people. And I'm just glad to be along with you in Ontario. I'm just going to kind of stop there because my wife, she's sitting here.
Yes,
But,
I know, First Lady. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just want to tell everybody, just keep it moving. Our best days are ahead of us, not behind us. And I'm looking forward to being part of the journey. I bought my tickets already for my wife and I to go to how do you pronounce it?
Seychelles.
I'm like Dr. Best. What'd you say? Seychelles? Yeah. So anyway, we got our tickets yesterday, and we're looking forward to being a part of that as well. And I just can imagine the energy that's going to come from being associated with so many other great leaders that's going to be there as well. So
awesome. Thank you so much, Pastor, for adding value. And I'll finish your story, guys. I'll be able to finish your story, and we'll end with this. I know we normally do Q&A, guys. We went a different direction. The prophetic voice or the prophetic statement that you need to take away from this call is this is your moment where the whales and the sharks are hungry and they're ready to mate, guys. All right. Now, let me share with you really quickly who Pastor Clyde Oliver is, and then we'll end this call. I was a young 18-year-old airman. My second military base was Patrick Air Force Base, Florida. My mother said, everywhere you go, make sure you find a church. And I ended up on a church called Freedom Christian Center near Melbourne, Florida. Pastor Clyde was one of the amazing leaders and ministers in that church. And he looked like me. The church was primarily a Caucasian church, but it was where God led me at. And of course, there was a natural attraction. And I saw Pastor Clyde from afar, saw him doing the work of ministry. And guys, I come from a small community. And from a religious standpoint, my mind was a little bit warped in the sense of I always thought that Christians had to be poor. We had to look ragged. We couldn't have muscles. I mean, there were all so many do's and don'ts that literally just had me all messed up. And Pastor Clyde was none of those things. Very handsome man, nice beard, nice haircut, a lot of muscles, foreplaying with his wife. I mean, I'm thinking to myself, is this guy really a Christian? And so somehow, one of the few times we went to church, I ended up at his home. They had a program where they brought bread to people's houses, and somehow we ended up at his home. Guys, it was one of the biggest houses that I'd ever seen an African-American man have. And I said to myself, wow, this is possible. And lo and behold, he mentored me from that point forward. We had about a 20+ year gap where we didn't see each other. And here it is, God brought us back together. When Pastor Clyde first got involved in this, guys, guess what? His motive was, I just want to be able to grow wealth for my family, because he had done well financially in some other things, made some money in crypto, and understood the power of crypto and wanted to connect with it just for himself. And emphatically said, I don't want to do this as a business. And guess what? He's one of our continental executives today and growing this business on a consistent basis, even though he said he didn't want to have anything to do with the business building side of it. So guys, be prepared. Know that this is the season when the whales and the sharks are hunting and they're ready to mate. We have what they're looking for. They're traveling from a far distance to get what we have. Let's be there to give them what they want. All right. So with that being said, we're going to end this recording at this moment. And what I'm going to do is, even though I know many of you may have other places and things to go, what I'm going to do is make myself available if there's any questions or any other thoughts. while the others who have to get away, they can actually dismiss themselves. All right. So I'm going to stop the recording.